November 11, 2024, Los Angeles International Airport bustled with travelers. Among them was Hana Kobayashi, a young woman with a bright smile and a ticket to New York. She was heading home after a visit with friends. But Hana never boarded her flight. Her name was called. The minutes ticked by, then the gate closed, leaving an empty seat with Hana's name on it. Hana's family waited in New York, eager to welcome her home. Hours passed. Their excitement turned to worry. Calls to Hana's cell phone went straight to voicemail. Something was wrong, deeply wrong. The call came from an unknown number. Yumi's heart skipped a beat as she stared at the screen, her mind racing with possibilities. Who could it be? Why now? Is this Hana? A voice asked on the other end. Hana's sister, Yumi, hesitated. She hadn't heard from her sister in days, and the uncertainty gnawed at her. It's about your sister, the voice continued, their tone laced with urgency. Yumi's heart pounded. She gripped the phone tighter, her knuckles turning white, but the voice wasn't Hana's. It was a stranger, someone Yumi had never met. Her mind raced with questions. Who was this person? What had happened to Hana? It belonged to a stranger who claimed to have found Hana's phone in a coffee shop near LAX. The stranger explained that they had stumbled upon the phone while grabbing a coffee. The stranger promised to mail the phone to Yumi. They assured her that they would send it as soon as possible, but Yumi's mind was already spiraling with worry. Days turned into a blur of anxiety and unanswered questions. Yumi found herself unable to focus on anything else, her thoughts consumed by her sister's disappearance. Yumi scrolled through Hana's social media searching for clues. She hoped to find some hint, some indication of where her sister might be. Hana's Instagram was a vibrant tapestry of her life, her passion for photography evident in every carefully curated shot. Each photo told a story, but none provided answers. Her blog, filled with short stories and poems, revealed a soul yearning to express itself. Yumi read through each entry, hoping to find a hidden message or clue. There was no indication of any trouble, no hint of where she might have gone. Yumi felt a growing sense of helplessness. She needed to find her sister, but where to start? Determined not to give up, Yumi decided to retrace Hana's steps. She marked locations on a map, places Hana had recently visited, hoping to find a lead. She visited the coffee shop near LAX, showing Hana's photo to the barista and patrons. Some recognized her, but no one had seen her recently. Yumi put up missing person flyers, hoping someone might have information. Each day that passed without news felt like an eternity. Then, one evening, her phone rang again. This time, it was a familiar voice. "Yumi, it's Hana!" the voice said, filled with relief. Yumi's heart soared as she listened to her sister's voice, tears streaming down her face. The sisters were finally reunited, their bond stronger than ever. Yumi vowed never to let her sister out of her sight again, grateful for the miracle that had brought them back together. Hope flickered when a witness came forward. They claimed to have seen Hana at the Grove, a popular shopping destination in Los Angeles. Security camera footage showed a young woman resembling Hana browsing through a bookstore, her face hidden beneath a baseball cap. Was it her, or just a cruel trick of the light? Then came another sighting, even stranger than the first. This time it was at a LeBron James shoe launch event. A woman matching Hana's description was spotted near the fitting rooms, seemingly agitated and trying to avoid the crowd. The witness even claimed to have made eye contact with her, but the woman quickly disappeared into the throng of shoppers. The Kobayashi family was frantic. They distributed missing person flyers, contacted every hospital and police station in Los Angeles, and offered a reward for any information leading to Hana's safe return. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The media picked up the story, amplifying their plea for help, but Hana remained missing. The police investigation hit a dead end. Hana's phone, mailed from the mysterious caller, provided no leads. Her digital footprint offered no clues, only a haunting echo of a life abruptly cut short. The case grew cold, leaving the Kobayashi family trapped in a nightmare. In the absence of answers, speculation ran wild. The disappearance of Hana had left a void, and in that void, countless theories began to flourish. People from all walks of life, from amateur detectives to seasoned conspiracy theorists, flocked to online forums to share their thoughts and ideas. Online forums buzzed with theories. Each thread was a new possibility, a new angle to consider. Some users meticulously analyzed every piece of available information, while others spun elaborate tales based on the scantest of details. Had Hana run away to escape a secret life? Some believed she had been living a double life. one that she could no longer sustain. They imagined her fleeing in the dead of night, leaving behind everything she knew to start anew. Was she the victim of a random act of violence? Others feared the worst, that Hannah had been in the wrong place at the wrong time, falling prey to a senseless act of brutality. The image of a dark alleyway, a crime scene cordoned off by police tape, haunted their thoughts. Or was there something more sinister at play? Whispers of a shadowy figure, a person of interest who seemed to lurk in the background of Hannah's life, added a layer of intrigue and fear. Who was this mysterious individual, and what role did they play in her disappearance? Amateur sleuths dissected every detail of Hannah's life, searching for clues that the police might have missed. They pored over her social media posts, her last known whereabouts, and any possible connections she might have had. Their homes became makeshift investigation centers, with bulletin boards covered in photos and notes, all connected by a web of string. Some theories veered into the realm of the bizarre. From government cover-ups to alien abductions, the more outlandish the theory, the more fervently some people believed it. Heated debates ensued, with each person convinced they had uncovered the truth. A popular one linked Hannah's disappearance to a series of unsolved disappearances in national parks, suggesting a connection to the mythical creature known as the 43 Missing. This theory captivated the imagination of many, drawing parallels between Hannah's case and other mysterious vanishings. Others pointed to a cryptic post on Hannah's blog, interpreting it as a coded message for help. They believed she had left behind a trail of breadcrumbs, a desperate attempt to communicate her plight to the outside world. Each new theory, however far-fetched, offered a glimmer of hope, a possibility that Hannah might still be alive. In the end, the web of theories was a testament to the human need for answers, for closure, and for the hope that, against all odds, Hannah would be found. Section 6. Tragedy strikes again. The weight of Hannah's disappearance proved unbearable for the Kobayashi family. The constant worry, the dead ends, the unanswered questions, it took a toll. Every day felt like an eternity, filled with a gnawing sense of dread and hopelessness. The family clung to each other, trying to find solace in their shared grief, but the pain was relentless. The unanswered questions, it took a toll. Each passing day without news felt like a lifetime. The Kobayashis were haunted by the unknown, their minds racing with possibilities, each more terrifying than the last. They tried to stay strong for each other, but the strain was evident in their eyes, in their every movement. Then came the news that shattered their world completely. A phone call in the middle of the night, a knock on the door, the kind of moments that freeze time and change lives forever. The Kobayashis were plunged into a new depth of despair. Ryan Kobayashi, Hannah's father, had taken his own life. The man who had been the pillar of strength for the family, who had tirelessly searched for his daughter, was now gone. His absence left a void that could never be filled. He left behind a note, a final message that spoke volumes of his love and despair. It was a heart-wrenching message of love for his daughter, a plea for her to come back, and an expression of the unbearable pain of not knowing her fate. The note was a testament to his broken heart, a cry for help that came too late, a heart-wrenching message of love for his daughter and the unbearable pain of not knowing her fate. The words were a haunting reminder of the agony he endured, a father's love intertwined with his deepest sorrow, and the unbearable pain of not knowing her fate. The family read the note with tear-stained eyes, their hearts breaking anew with each word. It was a moment of profound grief, a realization of the depth of Ryan's suffering. Ryan's death sent shockwaves through the community. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers came together to mourn the loss of a man who had touched so many lives. Vigils were held, candles were lit, and prayers were said, all in honor of Ryan and his unwavering love for his daughter. It was a stark reminder of the devastating impact of Hannah's disappearance, a tragedy compounded by another. The media coverage intensified, focusing on the family's grief and the lack of progress in the investigation. Reporters camped outside the family home, their cameras capturing every tear, every moment of sorrow, a tragedy compounded by another. The media coverage intensified, focusing on the family's grief and the lack of progress in the investigation. Headlines screamed of the double tragedy, and the public's interest was piqued anew. Focusing on the family's grief and the lack of progress in the investigation, the Kobayashis were thrust into the spotlight, their private pain becoming a public spectacle. They gave statements to the press, pleading for any information that could lead to Hannah's return, and the lack of progress in the investigation. The police continued their search, but leads were scarce and hope was dwindling. The community, however, refused to give up, but amidst the sadness and frustration there was a renewed determination to find Hannah, to bring her home, to honor her father's memory. The community rallied together, organizing search parties, distributing flyers, and keeping Hannah's story alive. There was a renewed determination to find Hannah, to bring her home, to honor her father's memory. The search for Hannah became a symbol of hope and resilience, a way to keep Ryan's spirit alive, to honor her father's memory. The Kobayashis, despite their grief, found strength in the support of their community. They continued to search, to hope, and to remember Ryan's love and dedication. The tragedy had brought them to their knees, but it also brought them closer together, united in their quest to find Hannah and bring her home. Section 7. The Return. Almost a year to the day of her disappearance, Hannah Kobayashi walked into a police station in a small town in Oregon. She was thinner, her hair longer, her eyes filled with a haunted look. But it was her. The news spread like wildfire. Hannah was alive. Her return was met with a mixture of relief and disbelief. Where had she been? What had happened? The questions poured in, but Hannah offered few answers. She spoke of a need to escape, to find herself, to disappear from the pressures of her life. She claimed to have been living off the grid, working odd jobs, trying to piece her life back together. Section 8. Scars Remain. Hannah's return didn't erase the scars of her absence. The year she was missing had taken its toll on everyone who knew her. The Kobayashi family, already fractured by grief, struggled to rebuild their lives. Yumi, haunted by the memory of the phone call and the uncertainty that followed, found it difficult to reconnect with her sister. The public, initially ecstatic about Hannah's return, soon grew skeptical of her story. The lack of details, the convenient timing of her reappearance just before the anniversary of her disappearance, it all seemed too orchestrated, too calculated. The online detectives, once united in their search for Hannah, now turned their attention to unraveling the truth behind her disappearance and return. Section 9. Unanswered Questions. Hannah Kobayashi's case remains a mystery. Her return, while bringing a sense of closure, also opened up a Pandora's box of unanswered questions. Did she choose to disappear? Was she forced? And what about the strange sightings, the cryptic messages, the eerie coincidences? The truth, like Hannah herself, remains elusive. Her story is a reminder that sometimes, even when the missing return, the answers we seek may never fully emerge from the shadows. The scars of uncertainty linger, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown.